Uh, Good morning. Today is, what is this? Friday, April 16th, 2020 at 11 a.m. This is a kind of informal meeting of the Rules, Engrossment, Enrollment, Resolution, and Credentials Committee. It's really, we have several committees at the board that are under one umbrella. Today, we're really just going to talk about how the credentials process works. I am Sharon Tyus. I'm the chair of the Credentials Committee. The rest of my committee is not here because we're not going to vote on anything. We're just going to talk about how new alder people or re-elected alder people are credentials and get their credentials so they can be sworn in on Tuesday, April the 20th. So, and I thought this would be good also for people who want to run or whatever, if they could just see kind of what we go through. So I'm glad to see at least 2 people came, and so we can just discuss the process. Good morning, Alderman Gunther, if you will unmute, because we kind of are informal. As long as people don't get into arguments and screaming, we just leave everything on mute in rules.
I promise not to scream today.
If you do, I'll scream back at you, okay?
Perfect.
Okay, so anyway, so we were just going over that, the letter I sent you. Sorry it was so late last night, but I was trying to get things straight with the Board of Elections to make sure we did that correctly, and with the Missouri Ethics Commission, and that everything went into place. And so I finally did, and I was able to send the letters out. And we were going over that it's really nothing that the aldermen have to bring to me. That I actually request things from the Board of Elections, from the assessors. I gave you a list, and one other person that I've already sent requests to make sure that you and the Missouri Ethics Commission, from the clerk, because the clerk is who you file your 30-day after election report with. So they give me everything I need. The only thing will happen is that Monday afternoon after sign and die, we will, as the aldermen come in whatever random order, probably me and myself and Megan first, because we also have to be sworn in. So I'll have to step down as chair, and Megan will chair the committee, and then I'll do her, and we will swear you in and make sure that I gave you the questions we will ask that are part of your requirement of being an alderman or alderwoman, which is that you haven't been convicted of a felony. You were 5 years a citizen in the United States, 3 years a resident of the city, and 1 year a resident from the ward from which you are elected. You can't be convicted of malfeasance in office, bribery, or other corrupt practice crimes, or have been found guilty or pled guilty to a felony under the federal laws of the United States. And so we will ask these questions. Each of you will have a folder. We will check off the answers when you say no. We will put all the information that you have in a folder, and that will all go to the clerk. So if anybody ever challenges anything about you, the clerk will have your file showing that you did qualify and you had the credentials. The Board of Elections will send over actual credential too. And we will go through that to make sure that's okay. And then you'll be ready to be sworn in wherever we're going to be sworn in Tuesday. Because I still don't know where that is. Do you? Do any of you?
I was told it would be in the chambers.
I was told in the chambers as well.
How is it that the new people know more than us, Dan?
Very
have a
good one
lot
told
of
us to plan.
questions. A lot of questions.
Okay, because last time I heard we were going to do it outside. So wherever we're going to get sworn in, we usually are in the chambers, but wherever we do that. And then when we do that, the registrar comes and signs you in, and then you get sworn in. So it's all done pretty compactly. Sometimes we actually have been doing it the days that you were sworn in, and it made it really crazy. So this way you'll have a little bit more time to just relax and get ready to be sworn in.
Appreciated.
Any questions, anything I didn't cover?
You had said in your letter to us that the MAC report, you just filed it to April 11th. It doesn't have to go up to Monday the 19th.
Actually, no, I filed it on April 11th and I put it to May 1st. And they'll let you do that. That was my end date, from March 26th to May 1st. Now, if during that time you spend money, what you have to do is do an amended report, which you can go on and amend your report. If you don't spend any money, you don't have to do anything, because that's the time period. So that's why I put it into that. And that was perfectly okay. And then I called them to make sure. And if you want to, I'll share my report with you if you want it so you can see what I did.
Yeah, I think the biggest question I have is whether I get a contribution tomorrow.
Yes.
Whether that needs to be reported or whether
Yeah.
if I would have, okay, so
Then you would amend it.
for Monday.
You can amend it if it's not a big contribution. Like they have a rule about if it's so much, you have to do it right away. But I would, just to be safe, if you got one tomorrow, then I would just go on and amend it and say, you know, it just takes a few seconds. I don't know if you do your own. I do my own.
Yeah, same. So if I have everything up to date as of 10 a.m. on Monday morning,
Correct.
And
correct.
It won't, it as long as it's in the system at MEC before our meeting at noon on Monday, it's fine. And as long as I've sent it to the people I'm supposed to send it to,
Right.
so I can get it mostly ready to go Sunday, do one final check Monday, make sure I'm all
No.
together.
You can file your report right now today. Give that to Gary Stoff, because as of today, you're current. They said that's okay because they know that there could be a lag of 1 or 2. So they're not going to hold you to that strict. I'm not telling you not to do it, but I'm saying you will have already filed your 30-day report. You understand what I'm saying? You can do that today. And he will issue your credentials based on what you filed and get to him. So it's better to get it today and then just get it over to Gary and to the clerk.
Got it. Thank you.
And Chairwoman Tyus, can you clarify when you say get it over to the clerk? Do you want us to just give the confirmation number, or do we have
you send a report?
A physical copy of the report? Right. Okay.
Right. And in fact, you can, when you're doing that, you can put in his email address and they'll send him one directly. But I always print it out and scan it and then do it because I'm just a crazy person. You know who I am, Dan.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So, Alderwoman Tyus, what if it all goes wrong? Like what if we're not technically credentialed? Are we just not sworn in, or like are we unelected?
Why would you say that?
Because it scares me.
No, you are.
Okay, good.
No, this was easy. You just turn your 30-day report in. Now, of course, now if you are a felon on the run, you will not get sworn in.
Yeah, I don't think I am.
I don't want to make people nervous. I was doing this so that we could get it done early, because if you're doing it on the day, it's nerve-wracking. But what I will send, once I get everything, then I will let you know everything is here. It's taken care of. You'll get a little email or text from me, and then that will calm your nerves.
Yeah, it was also Alderman Narayan who once told me about the process. And he was like, it's the scariest thing ever, because Sharon Tyus comes up and she like examines your entire life and every decision you've ever made, and you're like,
oh he ought to be ashamed of it. I'm gonna get Brett for that. Now see, wait a minute, he's just saying you're not telling the truth. He texted me, Brett Narayan.
He's lying. He's not credentialed. So as a renter, I don't have a water sewer bill. That's my landlord. Do I need to make sure that he's compliant, or?
No. So when you file, so you either have to pay, do you have a car?
Yes.
Then you pay personal property tax. That's personal, that's tax, okay? So,
yes.
And how you don't even have to worry about that. I'll get that from the assessors. I'll say, are these people, have they paid some kind of prop tax? They'll say yes or no. If you have a car and you pay your taxes, you're good. I'm sorry I made it sound scarier than it is.
No, it wasn't you. It's just kind of the build up to Tuesday, I think, where you're like, okay, what can go wrong and how will it go wrong? So, but it won't go wrong.
So the worst thing can happen, let me say this, is that then you won't get sworn in right then and there. But that's why we're going to do this all weekend. I'll be available. So anything is a problem, then we can make sure we get this taken care of. The assessor will give me all that information later today. I'll let you know if there's any problem, okay? And then we'll have Monday to take care of it. That's why I was trying to get it done by today. So if there were any problems, because there have been a few little problems sometimes. So I like to get things done early so that you have time to address things.
Okay, thank you.
Tina, did you ever get in? You need to unmute. There you go. Thank you. And what do you like to be called?
Sweetie.
Okay, sweetie. That's great. Any other questions?
What questions were thrown out there? And I'll say yes or no if I need an explanation.
Okay, so let's see. We asked about what would happen. We talked about the 30-day report. Okay, so the 30-day report, you can do it right now today. I don't know if you do your own or if you have a treasurer, but as of today, you could do your report. The report's time frame is from, I think, March 26th to May the 1st. I filed mine on April 11th because I don't generally, after an election, I don't spend any more money, and I don't do much fundraising. If I tell you how little money I spend on my election, everybody will kill me. So I don't do a lot of fundraising. Just to tell you, this is my 30th anniversary of being elected. I first got sworn in 1991, okay? So 30 years ago. And I don't like to ask people for money. So, okay. So what'll happen is you can file your report now with the Ethics Commission. And then if somebody would give you money, say over the weekend, you would just file an amendment. But once you file it, you give that 30-day report to both the clerk, and you give it to Gary Stoff, who is over at the Board of Elections. And I will send you his email. Or he said, if you give it to me, I could just email it to him, because Gary and I have been working together for 30 years, and he would accept it from me because he knows I am a stickler about rules. But if you want to send it to him, I'll send you his email.
So if we have already sent it to Gary Stoff,
You're good.
will he send it to Terry, or do we need to send it? Okay.
No, you have, no. You
No.
have to give it to the clerk and to
Okay.
Gary.
Okay. Thank
We
you.
have to file all our stuff that's required. We have to file it with the clerk because he's the keeper of our records. And so what else we talked about, I was just, let's see, that you didn't really need to give me anything because I was going to get everything from the assessor, the clerk, and the Board of Elections. And you were going to be sworn in, and we kind of went over what I already told you in the letter, how you were going to be sworn in. And so unless you're on the run or you got some hidden felony, it goes really quick. I have a file for each of you all, which we will check off if you answer the questions. The letter will go in there. Everything that's sent to me will go in there. It will go to the clerk, and he will keep a record. If somebody comes along and says, Sharon Tyus, which all these many years, I still get that I don't live in my house because my husband and I park in the back in the garage, so people never see our cars. So they're like, you're never there, you don't live there. We park in the back. So if somebody would come and say that, the clerk could come and say, yes, she does. Here's her voting record, and everything is there. It makes it kind of easy. When you're in politics for a long time, people say, I'm not married. I only been married 32 years, and we have a marriage license down there. But because I was the first woman to keep my name and still have my name, I still give questions about if I'm married. None of their business. Go ahead.
I have a question regarding taxes. So I think all I need to have handed in was the 2019 taxes, correct? Since we had the extension to May 16th or something.
Right, exactly.
So all the information I submitted just to be on the ballot is what you really need, correct?
And that's what the Board of Election will give me a copy of.
Okay.
And I was also explaining the reason why we're doing it this way. Before, we've had aldermen that didn't meet the credentials, and people always think that the Board of Election checks for us. They're not responsible for the legislative body. So we are, and unless somebody challenges your credentials while you're running, and even then, sometimes the board won't do, depending on what they challenge you about, the board does not do a full investigation. But before we swear our people in, the charter says that the Rules Committee is supposed to do that. And we just weren't doing it before. So I'm kind of doing it so that we can do it the right way. And I also attached that laws and regulations so you would know specifically what it says. And I don't know if anybody's given you a copy of the charter yet or the rules. If not, you will get rules after we pass the new one. And I always share copies of the charter with anybody that wants them. It's a good thing to know. That is our Bible. although sometimes in Jefferson City, they don't like to believe it is. And so they go around our charter, but we are a chartered city. The questions that we ask should not take you any more than less than 5 minutes. It won't be a long process. Nobody's trying to get you or anything, just going through what you're supposed to do and checking it off.
And anyone can pick up a free copy of the city charter as printed, an official copy from the registrar's office for free, because we're now city officials.
Well, you
Or
will
if you happen
be
to have
as of Tuesday.
Well, since I have a library badge, they still count me as being a city employee,
Okay.
which is kind of problematic. But yeah, so little pro tip there: if you don't run for re-election, get a library badge, and you can express through security and get free things. So free city charters.
The charter is also online, so I don't like paper a lot if I don't have to kill trees. So you could just Google St. Louis City Charter and it's there. And also our rules are online also. And you don't have to ask just the questions in this. If you have other questions, I've been here for the longest, so I will answer any questions that you have.
I think I'm good. My only thing was just about the MEC report. So I think I've got all my questions answered, and I'm probably going to hop off and go to the next thing.
So are you going to file it today?
Yeah, I'm going to call the guy that helps me with it right now and see if he has time this afternoon.
Okay, great. So because we do need it to be over to the Board of Elections by Monday morning so he can give us your credentials. Okay?
Okay. All right, I'll get it done today.
Thanks.
So,
appreciate you.
Thank you very much. See you
I'm
all
so glad
soon.
you're back.
I am too. Here.
Okay.
So,
see you later.
I'm also
Hi,
good.
Alderwoman
Thank you
Grass.
so much. Oh,
Sorry. Hi, Alderwoman Grass. How you doing? You're okay.
So I filed my report today, and I'll file another report 30 days from now.
You don't have to.
Well, we might spend some more money on
You
stamps.
just amend it. So what you do is you amend your report. They have an amendment because that's already, they only let you file one 30 days. So you just, whatever, if you say you raised $10,000 after, you would just amend it and put that in there. You won't have to fill out the whole thing. It's just an amendment.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it makes it easier. Yeah.
It does. That's why I was telling you that.
My treasurer's gonna love it.
So when I got elected, there was no Missouri Ethics Commission. So that's how long ago. They started that while I was, when I guess about my third or fourth year. And you do want to keep to their timeline. I actually got fined the $100 because I was playing around with and I filed at 12:05, and so I got $100 for being 5 minutes late. So I just sent it. So you do want to, when they tell you when you have to do it. Okay, don't be late. They usually don't charge you $100. It's usually $10 a day, but right before that election, it goes up to $100 a day.
thank you so much, Chairwoman Tyus. Really appreciate your help. I'm also good. You answered all my questions, and I appreciate it.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. Have a good
All
one,
right.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Likewise, Alderwoman Tyus, I'm sending over that email to Mr. Kennedy, and then Gary already has it, and then I'm CCing you on that email as well, just so that you have my my 30-day report easily accessible.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and
Have a
there's
good day.
nothing bad going to happen. Let that go. Enjoy this. I mean, I got scared. I can still remember after I won, I was like, I don't know what the heck an alderperson does. How can I be on the board of aldermen? The Roberts brothers were these people that and I was all of a sudden, I didn't even want to run. I said no for a year. So I was scared, you know what, okay? But most people here are very nice and will help you. Even though we might scream and holler, we will all help you. Your predecessor will tell you, I am a rules person, and she's here. And I know the rules pretty much backwards and forwards.
It's all about it.
And I will be truthful. If it's not something that helps me, I'll tell you the truth. And anything I can do to make it your process easier, I will, because at the end of the day, we're trying to serve the citizens of St. Louis.
For sure.
Correct. So.
Right. Okay.
Well, thank you again. And my nerves are calmed, I promise.
Okay.
And then everyone have an excellent day, okay?
You too.
Perfect. Thank you.
Tina, anything else?
Should I be sending the MEC report to you also?
No, I'm going to get it from the clerk. So our clerk is everything that you file with the clerk, I can get from him.
Okay.
So you really don't have to do anything but just show up. Like I said, I'll get it from the clerk. I'll get it from the Board of Elections. You have a beautiful smile. Oh my God, I love smiles.
Thank you.
Your hair is out of your face. You could be a model. I'm just going to tell you what my mother would always say. Get that hair out of your face. Okay.
Yeah, my mom said the same thing. And so I cut my dreads off and she was like, it's not, but now it's back. It could be back my, so I've thought about being a toothpaste model.
Okay.
Something like that.
You do have wonderful teeth. You really do. No, but I can see so much more of your face now. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. So if you have other questions, I put my cell phone at the bottom of the correspondence.
Okay.
Call me.
Great. No, I don't have any other questions. So, I mean, we handed it in today and so we're fine. And so you say if we spend any more money, we get any more money, we do amendment and that's due May?
No, you do it anytime. Say this weekend you raise $10,000. You can go online or your treasurer, whoever does it, and then there's something that says amend the reports. When you go down there to the bottom, it says amend reports. You click on that. You click on the last one you did. You add in that space where it categorized where you receive donations. You add that up and you put that in your amendment. And you can do it 2 or 3. You might amend your report before May the 1st 5 or 6 times. If you spend money, you go and you amend that. Pretty easy.
Yeah, and at the same time, I could just amend it at the end, right before May 1st, correct?
You can, but if you do something this weekend, just so nobody says you were trying to hide something, anything that you would do this weekend before you get sworn in, I would amend it just to be safe. Okay, so people won't say she spent this money and she didn't let us know.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's make sure that we do it on Tuesday.
Okay.
Or Wednesday. Wednesday, I guess we have until Wednesday. So.
No, Wednesday you're an alder person. You get sworn in Tuesday.
Tuesday, but I could spend money on when. I'll just make sure I could spend money on.
There you go.
I won't get stamps and other things, so I'll just make sure.
Wait, actually, when you become an alder person, we give you stamps, and we also get what do you call it, Vicky? A little account that we spend. What's the fund called? Having a senior moment.
Expense account.
Expense account. Thank you. Right. Now, some people put their expense accounts on their check. I keep mine separate. And then I do a thing where I turn in whatever I spend. So you'll have to make a choice. Do you want yours to be on your check? And I didn't want mine to be taxed. So I don't put mine on my check.
Oh, that's a good idea. And do you have to spend the money by the end of the year? Or
they like you to. I carry mine over. I'm not a good person to tell because I save mine up and then I do like I'm getting ready to donate a lot of mine. I'm going to buy some food cards and donate mine to some seniors who are having a hard time buying groceries.
So it does roll over.
But they want you not to do that. That's what I'm telling you. I'm not a good person. It does, but they really don't want you to do it before a little time. I'm trying to tell you to be better than me, okay?
Okay, got it.
I was here before the comptroller. I was here before the mayor, the other mayor. I've been here before everybody in City Hall now. So I kind of just break the rules a little, but be better than me, okay?
I'll ask for forgiveness.
Yes.
So, okay, great. So I could wait for stamps. All right.
And you got a secretary already, right?
Yes.
Okay, so your secretary will probably get in contact with you about the stamps because I don't, and it's been such a long time. I can't remember if they give the prior alderperson half the stamps and you get half because you're coming in at halfway through, but you can find out who Alderman Rhodey's secretary was, because he may have left. Sometimes the prior alderperson don't use up all their stamps and stuff, and he may have some left, which you inherit.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
I left mine to Bill.
Okay, that's great. That is great.
And you get a certain amount of stamps. How much money of stamps do you get? How many stamps?
Is it 250? I don't even know.
I don't remember.
So my secretary keeps mine, and
Yeah.
she just I don't even bring them home or anything. So she does all the mailings.
Oh,
So
okay.
they can tell you. I just have her do it, and she puts them in every month. She puts my stamps in an envelope.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And
So-
she'll let you know. I think it's 250, but I can't remember now.
Okay. I'll just ask you some other questions, maybe in terms of the secretary. What do you have her or him? How do you utilize her, him, for the most part? I mean, I know that's-
So my main thing is that I like my constituents to have their call returns. That is a thing for me. I cannot stand that people don't return their calls. It drives me crazy. So for mine, when they call and leave a message, either I return their calls in 3 to 5 days or my secretary does. And a lot of times it's somebody I know, I call them right back. And so you have to know when you've been in office, and it was 10 years I was racially gerrymandered. But other than that, and even then I became the committee woman. So everybody has my number. A lot of people I've represented for 30 years, so they know my number. They don't even call the office. I try to get them to, so because I like her to log them in, and then she emails me my messages every day, and then we keep track. And then I have a system that I keep track of. So then when people say I don't call them back, and then I say, yes, I called you back. You called me on this day. This is the day I call you back, and you don't have an answer machine. And they'll be like, oh, okay, yes, you did. So for me, that's my main thing for her, is to get back with constituents, okay? Or business people or whoever. She usually will ask them, what is this concerning? Because the other thing is, because I've been here so long, people think I'm the alderperson to the world. So they've been seeing me on TV for a long time. So they just call me, or they know me from some other thing. So I get her to kind of go through. I try to return my calls to my constituents and business people, and people who are in my ward first. That's a first for me. Other people, I still return calls. Even like I have some people in the county will call me, and I call them, and they think I can do things in the county, which I cannot. And I try to refer them to the correct person. Your secretary also types up all your letters and correspondence. Remember, you are sharing that person with 4 or 5 other people. So 4, I think now. And so the earlier you let him or her know what you need, then you are in line to get it done faster. Your projects, if you, I don't, because I have computers at home. We have 5 computers at our house and printers. I do a lot of. I'm a nerd from way back. I also have original Superman comic books. People don't know who Sharon Ty. So I have a
those are probably worth a lot. So
I have a number 2. I have one for when Lois Lane became Black. I Am Curious Black, which I love. Okay, so I've been collecting comic books since I've been 6 years old. So I do a lot of my own typing, but I do big mailing. Say if I'm mailing to a precinct or something like that, I have her do it. They have something called mail merge. I had her just go over to the board. Had her call over to the Board of Election. They sent her a list of my registered voters. She put that into her computer, so she doesn't have to keep typing up people. And so if I want to send to the registered voters on the street, she can go in there and get that out and mail to them. And I got a list right now when people move. So what I do is when people move, I try to bring that back, give to my secretary, let her note that they have moved. We put them in another file so we don't keep mailing to them. I also will take it over to the Board of Elections, because you will find out that they still have them on the active file, and then they actually can inquire if those people have moved and take them out of your your database if they're no longer registered voters in your ward. Let's see, some of the people, like Erica is my secretary. Some of the older people have her call to different departments if something needs to be done, or she will, I do that myself. I know all the people, so I call the people. If I need to call the head of BPS, I just call them just because I know all of them.
Okay, what's BPS?
Board Public Service. And I'm sorry, because I hate when people do that, use acronyms. So the Board of Public Service is the department that you will get a certain amount of money that goes into street paving, not dumpsters, because they're supposed to buy dumpsters now, street lighting, park maintenance and other things. And so you will be assigned a person who is your liaison to talk about how to spend the money. When the taxes were passed when Freeman Bosley became the mayor in 1993. They couldn't pass them for 10 years. They're supposed to be for the alderpersons of each ward. The mayors have been stealing the money, and that's what I call it. Elida took some this last time, and Francis Lay had taken some. That's not what's supposed to happen. That was not the promise made to the people, because we voted on it. And we also had 4 liaisons, and now we have 2 for the city. I'm encouraging the new mayor to hire back, because it takes a long time for your stuff to get done, because they have too many people that they're covering. So that's been one of my recommendations to the new mayors, that we increase the staff, not only just in Board of Public Service and forestry. We had 16 years of mayors who believed in a lot of privatization. And so I am very much a constituent service people. I think that that's all great that we do new football stadiums and soccer stadiums, but basically almost everybody in the city wants their trash picked up, the lawns cut, the trees trimmed, the basic services. And so I get really disappointed with mayors that put so much emphasis on development and not on the
constituents.
Right, exactly.
And development.
I beg your pardon?
Development has shown, economic development like stadiums have shown that you don't get to spin off that.
I was here, I was the original no vote on the Rams, not so much that I understood what they wanted. I voted no because I'm a lawyer, graduated from WashU. And so they left this big loophole that said, if you don't have a stadium that's equal to a stadium in 15, 20 years, then you can leave. And I'm like, well, they're gonna leave. Oh no, they won't. Oh, I have a record. I stayed on the floor for an hour speaking against that. So I think they put that in there on purpose. And it wasn't Stan Kroenke. Everybody gets mad at Stan Kroenke. He was not the original majority owner. I blame the city of St. Louis. We have a whole city councilor. We have a whole section of city councilors. So to me, that's they blame other people when it's us and the Board of Aldermen that did bad decision. The mayor at Freeman, when he came in, he ran after a football team, and we got turned down, and then he ran after another one. And so we got them, but we have an empty football stadium. We're going back into baseball now. The hockey team rents from a building that they don't pay any rent, and we pay money into it, which we did not agree, and I'm a landlord, so I never heard of landlords saying you don't have to pay any rent and you also don't have to fix it up. That makes no sense to me. So I'm no votes on all those things, not because I don't want development, but for me, we have an emphasis on downtown at the expense of the communities. When they gerrymandered me, I had done $52 million of development in my ward. My husband has a master's in urban affairs. And so we have been developers, low and moderate income housing for years. And so we didn't have a Walgreens, we didn't have a Snooks, I built a new school. And so when they gerrymandered